To be here, my friend.
I'm grateful to be here as well. Today, we're going to have a very short conversation, and I'd love for you to share with me and my audience a little bit about you, where you were raised, what got you into the work that you do right now, and what do you see for the future in 2021?
Yeah, I was great. Thank you. I was raised in Queens, New York, born and raised in Manhattan, and I grew up in a family community atmosphere. My parents came from South India. I had the opportunity growing up seeing my parents kind of bring their family to this country, live in our household, see my uncles and aunts thrive. They raised me, secondary fathers, secondary mothers too, as well. So I have this extended family. And it's just amazing, really amazing being able to have this community around myself. And then I went to engineering school thinking I wanted to be an engineer, got a background in process engineering, got in the corporate world for a number of years. 9/11 woke me up. And it woke me up to the opportunity of getting back into community. It, the reminder came 9/11 and the chain of events over the next few years about the power of community, about power of momentum as a community. One thing, as I won the lottery for the marathon in 2002, I had to get out of my own way. I found the work of Tony Robbins, which shifted my world. I see you wearing a Tony hat, Platinum Partners, that community, getting into his work, specifically focusing each day on certain power questions, started having me get out of my own way. There's a lot of power and questions. We can talk about that shortly too, as well. And then in 2005, after an event called Date with Destiny, we launched Success Circles as a community to invite our members to really focus on their why each and every day, to own their why each and every day, and notice over time how they own their why, how they move toward their why each and every day, 2 millimeter shift each day, how they can eventually, realize their goals, their dreams. And it's a simple conversation. Everything is a simple conversation. So that's a bit of my background. Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm blessed to be an entrepreneur. I serve a lot of entrepreneurs in our community. I'm married to an amazing woman. My wife's absolutely amazing. Partnership is everything. I find we grow the most in partnerships. I have partnership with my wife. I have partnership through accountability. I have partnership with my clients, my team. I have partnership with my kids. And it's just so vital that we're able to engage in dialogue, especially being in conversation where we're expected to rise as leaders. Just like you and myself having this conversation, we're both rising in our leadership in this conversation here. And that's my whole life right there.
Indeed. And Joseph, first time I met you, friend Kabir introduced me to you, and I joined him in your morning meetings. And the clarity that I felt, the way that you ran the meetings, having people focus on what they're grateful for instance, and see the greatness they probably don't see in themselves, and have the group acknowledge that made such a big impact in me. And I thought, you know what, I need to ask Joseph more questions. I need to have a longer conversation with him. And that's what we did a few minutes earlier. We talked about accountability and how to, and then you mentioned the power of asking questions and asking the right questions. Since you started Success Circles, what have you noticed what has changed in your life, and what have you noticed? Because 15 years is a long time. And what have you noticed in the lives of people that are part of Success Circles?
Well, I've noticed that we're all entrepreneurs, and all of us as entrepreneurs, we develop some level of ADD. It's not that we're born with it. Like Dan Sullivan talks about this too. He's a coach. Jiu coach talks about this. Tony Robbins talks about this too, where focus goes, energy flows. And life, what I've found over the years is life gets busier. The more options, choices are there. And it's so critical to stay on purpose, to stay on point, to own our why each day. And, we, in our community, we're all about helping people progress. There's an idea that progress equates to happiness. The more we're progressing toward our dreams, it equates to happiness. So, I found that over the years, especially, the past decade or so, with the, advent of technology, like optimizing Zoom connections and choices, that there's just so many things that distract us from our purpose each day. And so critical that we're willing to confront each other, especially if it leads to a greater level of traction, growth, where we're each owning our legacy, our dreams, and it's more vital today than ever before. And a big factor there is it comes down to questions. I was fortunate, I was blessed because some years ago, I put in Personal Power 2 back in 2002, popped in the CD, and I learned about the idea of focusing on raising standards, focusing on contributions. But I found eventually that a bigger key is getting a dialogue each day. You can get a dialogue with a coach, or you can get a dialogue with a peer coach. Especially, what's amazing if you can connect with someone on the same playing field as you. Like you and I, for example, might be in the same playing field. We're part of a few frameworks that support us in rising up faster. We may have certain values and interests that are in common as well. We're both on the same playing field. If we're able to get in dialogue each day in conversation on a huddle, let's say, like every game has a huddle, we're able to and measure that progress each day, something extraordinary happens. And that comes down to questions. So for me, a key question is, and how am I raising my standards? What are you tolerating? Um, are you making progress to your outcomes for these 90 days, for example? Um, what are you celebrating? What's something magical happening in your life? How are you having fun? How are you having play? My wife was out here a moment ago, and some years ago when we got engaged, we got married very quickly. We accelerated our progress toward our marriage very quickly. So within 7.5 months, we got married from the point we met. And I thank this process for helping me do that. But at some point, about 3 months into it, I had to confront from a buddy of mine that I wasn't really being playful. I was being very serious minded, especially with all the business endeavors I was managing. When I added that element of play into my focal field each and every day, it just elevated things faster. My relationship with my wife, for example, my fiance became wife, um, my business and more. But it's those micro distinctions. It's being able to get feedback each and every day on adjusting that allows us to optimize. And it comes down to questions. It comes down to how coachable we are. And it's a matter of also how we're willing to take that feedback to course correct to be a better version of ourselves today than we were yesterday. And over time, that can compound over time quite a bit.
Wow. And so many amazing things that you shared there. And I know we only have maybe another 4 minutes or so for this call. So we'll keep this short. Um, for success circles, so for people that want to learn more about success circles, are you saying that you do something on a daily basis, that whatever frame of work they're using, whatever teacher they have, they can apply what you teach as success circles to elevate whatever their goal is with their teacher, their coach, their speaker?
Absolutely. So it's about everything comes down to focus. Where focus goes, energy flows. Where focus and intention goes, energy flows. So if we're working with coaches and other leaders who have communities, we'll often invite those focal points that things are focusing on into our framework as far as the questions go each day. And it's so important. So whatever you're learning, whatever you're looking to optimize, whether it be real estate, perhaps, and I know that you're part of that world too as well, transactions that happen in real estate, or perhaps doing partnerships, joint ventures, ecosystem mergers. If that's in our focus field each day, if someone's willing to confront us in a loving way, the whole thing is competition with love. If you're out to see me win, if I'm out to see you win each day, over time we'll receive that feedback and we'll be able to grow together. And I believe that's all possible. And it's just a matter of being willing to make today better than yesterday. And a key question that I'd invite your audience to see is just that. And if you had to revisit your day yesterday with the exact same variables you were given, the same day you were given, let's say a week from now or 2 weeks from now, what's one thing you would do differently? Or how can you make today better than yesterday? Like if you can ask that question, eventually you tap into what Tony Robbins calls constant never ending improvement, or in the world of process management, a Kaizen. And Kaizen's a wonderful thing. That world of Kanai is a very amazing thing because eventually, if you notice yourself progressing toward your dreams, like the things you're going after, like that you really want to create for your family, maybe the travel, business, and so forth, impact, seeing that come alive is extraordinary. And I find that in this world we live in, with the number of choices, distractions that come forward our way, it's easy to lose sight of those dreams. So I'm all about people living and reaching their dreams every day.
Mm. Well, as you're speaking, I was just getting present to all the seminars and the amazing teachers and coaches I've have had over the years, and the people that I met in those seminars, and how some people were able to apply what they learned from the seminar or from the framework, and others uh, were not. And when you were speaking just now, had the vision of all those people being part of something like what you offer, so that the investment that they had made in themselves on something that they went through for, say, a week, a weekend, or a 1 year coaching program, they can go back, dig up the manuals, log into wherever their mastermind is, or where the videos are, plug in with your system to put in practice what they have not put in practice.
Exactly. Yeah. And the key thing is immersion. So you're in an event, you're in a seminar, you're in a program, you're immersed for several days, and keeping that immersion going on, it takes something. It takes a conversation, because everything we want in life is a conversation. One thing I learned years ago is that unless we have some way of putting that into existence, alive, in a calendar, in conversation and dialogue, that conversation will disappear. And for most people that go to seminars, it's a great experience. Their prefrontal cortex is engaged, they're excited, they're happy, they're taking actions for 3, 4 days after the event, perhaps if they're lucky. But eventually it becomes a dream, it becomes this investment, and it was this nice memory. So I'm all about people shifting that conversation and actually progressing toward what they learned each and every day. So yeah, we love to work with coaches. We've had quite a few coaches in our community success circles over the years. And I mean, this is all about really progressing. So absolutely, my friend.
Where can people go to find more about you and Success Circles?
Awesome question, my friend. So we have, if you go to momentum.buzz, it forwards you to a page on our website. There's access on that page, momentumbuzz.com or momentum.buzz. We have calls each day at 12 noon Eastern each day. We have a group huddle. It's 20 minutes long. It's free. It's fun. It's engaging. We invite you to share your wins from Q1 of your day, set your intention for the day, and grounded in gratitude. We have calls also on Saturday, freely as well. Also, momentum.buzz will lead you there as well. That'll bring you to a page on Success Circles where you can learn about our process and what we do. So we have group huddles, and our main program is a daily one-on-one huddle. So we aim to find you connected with someone who's in the same playing field as you, maybe who's done similar growth work as yourself. And that's our main program. But so momentum.buzz will lead you to our main sites. You can look around and see what serves you, whether it's one of our free events, group events, or perhaps our buddy program, which is fairly affordable. It's only a couple of dollars a day.
Joseph, thank you so much for your time today and sharing your gifts with us. And looking forward to connecting again. Um, Thank you. Have an awesome day. I'm looking forward. I know you have a call to jump into in a minute or so. I appreciate your time. Respect you very much. And till next time,
I appreciate it. Thank
have
you.
an
Thank you.
awesome day.
Thank you, Fernando.
Bye bye.